Okay, what's your name?
My name is Brett, and I am a drug addict.
Okay, how did you start using drugs?
That's kind of an interesting question. Sometimes in addiction, you don't really know why you start. You just kind of start recreationally, and then eventually it becomes habitual. Some people take it on through traumatic experiences, and I've had my fair share of trauma. Probably happened, how, right? How or why?
How?
I had a period in college where there was a traumatic experience, and it probably propelled me into use, but in order to forget about the circumstance, I started using, and it kind of perpetuated in college and became a lot worse. And eventually I became super dependent on it.
How long were you using drugs till you realized there was a problem?
I dabbled a lot in high school. I would say about 2 years after using painkillers, I knew I had an issue. It's not like I tried to stop or anything. I just knew I had an issue where I had become physically dependent to the point that if I didn't take my drugs, I would be physically ill. Probably about 2 years after. It got a lot worse after that too.
Did you feel peer pressure?
You know, if anything, I was peer pressured to get out of my addiction. That happens to some people. Some people just find comfort in using drugs to escape their emotions. With me, that was my case. I found comfort, and I kind of was a recluse user. I didn't want to be around people. So if anything, people were trying to peer pressure me out of drug use.
Have you been in rehab? How many times? And why do you... Oh, have you been in rehab?
I've been in rehab plenty of times.
Why do you think the previous...
I'll answer that real quick. I've been to... I don't know, I'm assuming it's probably pertinent. I've been to rehab about 7 times. A couple outpatient, couple inpatient. I was in one recently as well. I'm in sober living now, actually. One rehab I had about a year of sobriety, and I botched that, and this one I have a year now. And yeah, I just think it's kind of important for people to know how many rehabs people go to. It's vicious. It's a vicious disease.
What drugs did you use?
I'm a heroin addict, but I used everything.
How long have you been clean?
Oh, I answered that question, my bad. I've been clean close to a year, 11 months.
And then what do you do every day to stay clean?
That's a good question. When I wake up in the morning, I have a little ritual. I meditate, and meditation can be many things. It can be music. Sometimes I put on my headphones in the morning and listen to Pink Floyd and relax and get my day going. It's just kind of like a breathing exercise. Sometimes I do a little bit of yoga in the morning too as well. Generally, I wake up, I sit on my bed, I cross my legs, and I clear my mind. I don't think of anything. I just clear my mind and breathe deep. And a lot of times when I miss that meditation, I tend to start off the day pretty terribly. Other than meditation, you said to keep myself clean, or?
To stay clean.
I mean, a lot of people, initially you go to meetings, like AA meetings. Sometimes people fall out of that and find other coping mechanisms. I did a lot of meetings. My thing is I surround myself with a lot of sober friends. I have a lot of sober friends, and you have to be held accountable at like all times, and that's why I have like a large group of sober friends. There's that, and I had another one. What was it? should know this. You have to be honest. You have to be transparent. If I start lying, it'll just perpetuate a cycle. One lie turns into several lies. You're spinning a web. If I don't stay honest with myself, if I don't stay transparent, I'm likely to use again. So,
What advice would you give me and my class in order to help us stay away from drugs?
huh. Well, I can tell you about myself. There are other coping mechanisms through therapy, through groups. I would stay away from isolation. I would find a close knit group of friends. Be healthy and comfortable with your family. Try to establish relationships that are healthy. Don't live in the dark. Be honest. This is just general life lessons because apparently addicts have general life problems that we can't tend to grasp that normal people can grasp. Stay honest, stay true to yourself, stay transparent. That's like the most important thing I can possibly advocate. Be true to yourself. It sounds cliche, but just be as true to yourself as possible, you know? Yeah, and you can also look at the detriment that people have caused in their lives and like all the crimes that have been committed because of drugs. It's not a happy life. It's not a fulfilling life. It's important to find purpose in life, you know? And on drugs, there is no purpose. There is no purpose. Some of you want to be lawyers. Some of you want to be doctors. Some of you want to be physicists, sports. It's impossible to achieve that goal if you are highly addicted to drugs. It just won't happen. I've crushed many of my dreams. I'm lucky to be alive today, and I'm finally working towards something again, and for that I'm truly grateful. It's another thing, gratitude. Stay grateful. Definitely stay grateful. I'm not religious by any means. I kind of think it's ridiculous. Sorry if you guys are religious. I apologize. But find some sense of spirituality. It's super important. Energies. That's what I got for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.